And this is Weaponized.
I should point out, you've got a lot of eyewitnesses that you've spoken to, recorded, who've willingly come forward and shared information. And to set up this audio clip we're about to hear is those who would like us to dismiss this and say it's just drones, like, you know, you can go buy them at Kmart or something, or it's something you can buy off the internet. Again, you're 100 miles out to sea for some of these ships. There are no other land. There's no other land out there from which you can launch a drone. There are no other ships, except for one that we'll talk about.
Yeah.
And where do these drones come from? It's important that you.
So there's going to be a lot more from this witness and other witnesses from Paul Hamilton that have allowed me to record with them. And we're going to have some people in person. But the main thing is all these people are still active duty. And this is not their goal, is to become the UFO person. So I'm not going to just broadcast their names necessarily, but I got the audio recordings. So with this particular clip out of like a number that we'll be releasing at some point, they talk about these objects, these UFOs. At one point he said to me, these are UFOs, they're unidentified, but we have to call them something. We'd call them UAS, unmanned aerial systems, because they just weren't big enough to hold a human being. We're coming from the West, and so that's kind of the point of this audio. Let's listen to it, and then we can talk about it. But it's just one of the details of why we shouldn't just dismiss this, first of all, just as drones, or second of all, just as like adversarial or even commercial drones. Where did they land? Where did they launch? So let's play the audio, and then we'll talk about it. And for purposes right here, I'm just going to play it on my phone out loud for us. 53 seconds. So from what direction was this swarm coming?
It was actually coming in the west.
It was coming from the west.
Yeah, from the west.
So over water.
Over water, away from land. I mean, like, the only thing you have over there is like Hawaii is probably the closest thing west of us.
And when they were departing, what direction were they departing to?
They would depart on different bearings than they came in on.
So normally always from the west, and then departing in a different direction?
Yeah. Not exclusively, but pretty constantly it'd be a different bearing, which is weird, right? Like, so if you deployed a drone to go check something out, it would come back. So that was like something significant enough for us to like report that, hey, these things are going a different direction than they came.
So a very simple statement. There's so many parts we could pull from to have this conversation, but I thought that one was cool because he's like, they were coming from the west. So normally, if you had any kind of drone, they would have to return to its launch point. But he's seen them come in and durationally go in other directions. So whose were they? Where did they come from?
So did somebody launch their Walmart drone from Hawaii and it traveled 1,800 miles to buzz these? There's hundreds of them that buzzed these 10 ships over 3 days. You've got a number of witnesses who saw them.